everyone, it's Julia. Today I'm working on a pair of thrifted jeans. This is a shorter jean. It's like a capri length. And I do have a couple stains on it on the back side. So I did wash them, but the stains did not come out. So I will be covering those up with some patches. And then I'm also working with this sundress that I thrifted, and this sundress has a lot of fabric in it, and I will be using that and also turning it into a top. So I'm kind of doing two different pieces of apparel. Now this sundress has a bottom gathered flounce on it, and it does open all the way down the front with these little tiny buttons with a elastic cord. So I'm opening a few of those buttons. I'm going to be cutting this flounce off. And when I cut this flounce, I am cutting about an inch above it so that I'll have some fabric to turn under. Removing those flaps in the back pockets. And here I am, I'm just pressing that turning that edge on the top, and then I stitched that. So now my flounce is all gathered and all finished off on the top. And I'm just going to add this to the bottom of the jean. Right above the hem, I'm just going to leave that hem on, and I'm going to stitch this from the top. There was a little vent on the side of these jeans, and I'm going to have that to be the place where it's going to be open all the way down. I stitched it except for that last inch, and then I'm going to cut this extra piece off of here, giving me probably about an inch, because I do want to turn this under and finish this. Also, I'm removing that tag that was on this little sundress flounce. And then I'm going to just give this a quick iron, and then I'll top stitch this. So now my sides are all finished off. And then I'll also finish that little piece there, that little end. Now I'm just kind of looking at this, and I really like how it's open on the side. And I'm going to be finishing off, of course, the other leg as well. But I thought these would be kind of cute here, just adding those little flaps. So I'm going to stitch that right on the top of that flounce. So I got that done, and I also got my other side completely finished. And then both of them are opened on the side. And now I thought I'm going to do a little bit of a decoration on the top of the front of this jean. So I'm working below the pocket, and I just drew on this right angle. And I thought I'm going to just do a little flip on that. I slid my ruler in there so I can easily pin this. And then I brought out this piece of it's just a scrap, but it has some of that same rust color in it than my sundress. So I thought that's going to just tie the colors in. Just shoving that in there, and then I'll pin this. And now I want to just add a little bit of this flounce fabric to this turn under, or this flap on this piece. So I'm cutting it to match, or cutting it to size, and we'll also stitch that on. I am going to just use a little bit of glue stick on that just to get it into place, and then I always usually press my glue stick when I'm done, or just so it's adheres a little bit quicker, or dries a little bit quicker. Now onto the back. Now I'm covering up those spots. Grabbed a couple more pieces of just scraps. I love this piece. It has some writing on it. It's just a neat background piece. and then want to also bring in the other colors. Again, adding my glue stick, and then using my iron just to get that glue to dry a little quicker. Doing the same with the other one, just covering that spot. Just playing around with the pieces just to try to make something look a little bit pleasing. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm bringing out my Sizzix Big Shot. I just recently got a new flower die that I want to try. I'm going to leave the information down below for you, but the first time I got it out of the package, really love it. It's kind of has a retro look to it. And I'm going to cut 2 of them because I'm going to add another one to the little top that I'm going to be doing. And the center is going to be this black and rust print. Just making my sandwich, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. I really like using the Big Shot to cut simple shapes like this. You can go up to about 4 layers, but this one I did just run the 2 layers. But those are all done now, and it's just a cute little flower. And I'm just trying to figure out where I'm wanting this. So again, I'm working on the back side of my jeans, and just decided I really like it just right above that bottom. And it's going to be off to my sewing machine. I am going to use my free motion foot. I'm not going to open the side seams at all. So I have my plate off of my open arm. So I have my open arm open, and I just put that pants leg around my open arm, and I have my free motion foot on, and my feed dogs are dropped. And I'm just going to outline each of these. I'm also going to be doing just a little bit of just some doodling on this particular piece here where the flowers are, just to outline the flowers. And then for this fabric that's tucked underneath, I'm just going to again, just stitch around it. The denim is going to fray a little bit, that edge. I do sew it about a 1/4 of an inch away so that denim will fray, or yeah, it just kind of gives a nice little texture after it's washed. So the front is done. Now I'm just taking it off and putting it back on my open arm, and to do the back. And again, very much the same way. I'm just outlining all the pieces, and the flower, I'm just doing the center and then each one of these little petals. And now I've got a couple places where I want to add some of these buttons. These buttons are wood, and they are painted. They're just kind of fun. Just thought I'd put one right on that flap, and then one on each one of these little back pocket flaps that I added. And now for the top part of this sundress. It does have some fun side pockets to it. And then I dug out some lace that I'm going to add to the bottom of this. First, I'm going to finish the edge of this. I'm just going to turn this up and just stitch it just so that this bottom edge is finished off. Because this opens all the way down the front, I thought it would make it kind of a nice little duster type of a thing. I think it would be fun just wearing it open over a t-shirt or something. These pockets hang lower now, and so I'm going to cut the end of the bottom of these pockets off. I do want to keep the pockets. I just kind of just a fun feature, but I do want to cut that. So I'm going to do that on both of the pockets. And then I'm just going to restitch it right on that line. I finished off the edge of that lace, and I'm going to lay this right on the top of that hem. Just giving a few pins, and then I'll be taking this over to my sewing machine, and I'll be stitching this on the top of from the top. I have my regular foot on, and I'm just going to straight stitch this. And then I finished off the other side too, so it's all finished off. And now for the little embellishment, I'm going to keep it really simple, but I still have one of those little flowers that I cut out. And then I have this extra piece of denim here, and this denim has the hem on the bottom of it. And I thought I'm just going to add this flower to the top of this and stitch that flower on. And then I'm going to free motion stitch the flower on, but then I'm going to change my foot to my regular foot. And then I'm going to do some added stitching on this. Just getting my other foot on. This is my regular foot now, so my feed dogs are up. And I thought, I've got rust colored thread on, so that matches that flower. I'm going to just do a lot of different just decorative stitches, just one after the other, all the way on to cover this bottom part. I like to use decorative stitches when I think about it, because I've got so many on my machine and I just don't use them that often. So this is a good place to use some, and you can see that one, and then I just keep going with that. And here's what it looks like. And I'm just going to put the whole embellishment, just stitch it right down to the front of this little blouse. And here's the pants. Really love how they turned out. I just think they're fun. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. I hope you have a chance to create. See you next time. Bye for now.